Hey guys, today I'm going to run through a product review of a personal favorite pre-workout and one that we've had here literally since like week 1 of opening Pinnacle Performance, and that's Dragon's Breath. So when we originally had it, it was the OG tub, OG branding, OG formula. We now have the new formula, new packaging, new branding, and we love these guys. They're an Australian-based sports supplement company that are super innovative. They really know like how to formulate a product specific to what their goal is, and they're not always kind of chasing the market. They kind of know what performance, what type of products, what their demographic is, and they constantly cater to them, have smart formulations, and they keep working along those lines. So this isn't the strongest pre-workout on the market, and they don't intend it to be. They don't advertise it to be that either. It is definitely a more moderate to high stim pre with a well-rounded pump nootropic blend. And when I say high stim, I feel like there's a multitude of categories now. I feel like there's a vast difference between your high stim pre's and like your very, very high stim pre's. So this sits between that like moderate to high stim based, especially in that 2-scoop serve, which is a full serve. So they intend it to be something that is much more longer lasting. They use a naturally derived caffeine, which we'll get to as well. So it's much more for your like people that aren't looking for something that's going to make them feel off their head in the gym. This is like one of my go-tos because energy wise, I'm super dialed in. It has a really good pump base in there as well, and I don't get too jittery or anxious because anything over about 300 milligrams of caffeine normally rocks my world. So this is perfect for me, and it may be perfect for some of you guys, which is the intended reason behind doing this review, because you may listen to this review, see what's in it and go, that's not for me. You may watch this review and go, that's perfect. It sounds exactly like something I want to go through. So first of all, if you either jump on the website or you come in store, you'll see on the front it's a 40 scoop tub. That's 40 scoops, but not 40 full serves. So the full serve, if you're going to use the full serve, it's 2 scoops. We're going to go through the actual formula on the 2-scoop serve because all the clinical doses of the ingredients are based off it being a 2-scoop serve. So the first part of this formula is the muscular endurance plus nitric oxide boosting blend. We start off in the 2-scoop serve with a 6-gram dose of citrulline dimalate, which is a vasodilator, so it's going to help with pushing blood to working muscles, going to help with improving pumps, it's going to help with improving our performance. We then have beta-alanine, which is a lactic acid buffer. They use it here in a 3.2 gram serve, which is a clinical dose. Anything above 3 grams is generally considered a clinical dose with beta-alanine. So basically what that's going to do is going to help reduce the amount of lactic acid we build up in our muscles while we're working out, whether that's in the gym, whether that's on the field, whether that is on the road if you're running, riding, swimming, whatever it is. But it's going to help with reducing lactic acid so we can work out harder for longer. We then have betaine anhydrous in a 1 gram serve, which is once again a clinical dose. This works very similar to creatine, so it's an osmolyte, basically helps keep the cell more hydrated so it can, you can perform better. The cells perform better under stress when you're working out. It is also a methyl donor to help with reducing the buildup of homocysteine, which is more of a health-based benefit, but from a performance standpoint, much more orientated around being a similar molecule to that of creatine. We then have potassium citrate in a 350 milligram serve, which is another pump ingredient. So once again, something else is going to help with boosting nitric oxide, helping push more blood to working muscles there. We have the mental acuity blend in which we have L-tyrosine and hordenine hydrochloride. L-tyrosine in a 750 milligram serve, hordenine in a 25 milligram serve. Both of these ingredients are precursors to noradrenaline/norepinephrine, so going to help as nootropics to help with increasing our focus and our energy while we're in the gym. So super big fan of both of those ingredients, and any sort of pre-workout any sort of good pre-workout should have some sort of nootropic blend in there as well, and not entirely just being focused around the dose of caffeine. You find a lot of pre's now, it's kind of a race to the top in terms of how much stim people can put in a pre-workout, but through and through, these guys have always stayed really strong to their formula because they know the type of people that use this pre-workout. Like myself, if I found out tomorrow that these guys changed their formula to have 400 milligram serve of caffeine in there to compete with what's popular on the market, we probably wouldn't have it in here anymore. We then go into our multi-stage energy blend. So once again, this is what makes Dragon's Breath in my opinion. So we have a green coffee bean extract, standardized to 98%, 250 milligram dose. So don't get it twisted. When you see green bean coffee extract as a caffeine source, don't look at it as a market employee where people can say, oh, it's a natural caffeine, and where things have organic and it makes no difference and they just charge more for it. This is actually a more expensive source of caffeine. It is a cleaner source of caffeine and it costs them more to put it in here. And personally, you can really feel the difference between having a cleaner dose source of caffeine from a green bean coffee extract versus your normal synthetic caffeine anhydrous. And I would say the main difference comes with the crash and how you feel the crash. Something cleaner like this definitely doesn't hit you as hard. So big fan that they've used naturally sourced caffeine, and we're slowly seeing more and more companies use naturally sourced caffeine, excluding the companies that are using those massive doses in that 400 milligram serve, because that would just become super expensive for the manufacturer. They're most likely not going to go down that route. If they're doing doses that high, they're going to most likely use caffeine anhydrous. We then have theacrine, /theacrine, and dynamine in here. So both of these are caffeine derivatives, and all the caffeine, theacrine, and dynamine all have different release rates. How we feel them. Dynamine being the longest lasting, theacrine being more of that like moderate release of energy, and then caffeine being the fastest release of energy there. So that's what kind of makes the formula have that much longer lasting energy effect, and not just a standard caffeine, probably 3 hour life. Like this is something that you could use in the morning if you're training in the AM, and you'll have energy throughout like the most part of that day. The thing with theacrine and dynamine though, is as much as I'm saying they're longer lasting stims, they don't affect your sleep hormones like caffeine does. So it's not going to block your sleep. You still don't want to have this within a 4 hour period of going to bed, but you can have this, if you're training at lunchtime or 3-4 o'clock and you're going to bed at like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, it's not going to affect your sleep. You will be sweet. But that energy formula there is definitely what makes Dragon's Breath. So you can see that it's not any sort of like crazy English walnut extract or any sort of crazy dose of caffeine, any sort of crazy dose of even dynamine. The lower dose of dynamine in here I actually like, because anything you've had with a really high dose of dynamine in there tastes like crap. So this is actually like a really solid, well thought out dose. All three of those stimulants actually get you a good kick before your training, but actually still be able to maintain the taste. And if you've actually had any of the Dragon's Breath flavors, they're unreal. They come in 4 flavors. You've got strawberry jelly, which I've got in my hand, pineapple juice, which is my personal favorite. You've got sour straps. You have mango passion fruit, and then they have one that they're just dropping now, which is called Granny Smith. So I haven't had that one yet, so I can't even give you my opinion, but all the other flavors have been dope, so I'm sure this one will be dope too. So if you're looking for a pre-workout that is not top-end level stim, you're looking for something that's probably more specific to any sort of sports performance-based pre, or if you're someone that likes moderate stims with a good well-rounded pump base to it, then Dragon's Breath is definitely the go. If you're looking for something that's probably a bit of a step up from your standard level like C4s, then this is definitely the go. If you're someone that uses your really high stim ones like Devastate, like Altered State, like any of those really strong ones, then this is probably not down your alley, unless you're looking at reducing the amount of caffeine that you're taking in, and then this would be perfect for you. So definitely recommend giving it a try. As always, we have open tubs in the store all the time. If you wanted to sample it out, give it a go. I hope this review was insightful and that you'll learn a thing or two and potentially give Dragon's Breath a go, but keep a lookout for more.